afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty excited to stand in front of you to talk to you about Cellulant. So a little bit about Cellulant is that we're a digital payments business that helps businesses accept payments and consumers to make these payments easily with a payment gateway at the center. So last year, my group CEO stood on this same platform and talked to you about our network. Yes, it's true that we run one of the largest payment networks in Africa with about 95 banks in our ecosystem, serving at least 50 million consumers, over 2,000 businesses that we work with, and amazing partnerships. But today, allow me to talk to you about the unsung heroes, the people behind the network, the guys who are working hard to make sure digital payments are accessible by Africans across the continent. Let's take a look at M-Pesa. It's actually not many people know that Cellulant was a catalyst for the growth of M-Pesa back in the year 2008, 2009. And you might wonder how. I'm sure that's a question in your minds right now. So when the service launched in 2008, the primary use case was P2P. And what used to happen is, as a user, I would have to go to my ATM, withdraw money, walk for miles, look for an agent, deposit the money so that I can do a P2P, which was quite cumbersome. Now, a team of 3 engineers at Cellulant sat and developed what we called an Optimus bot. And what the Optimus bot was, simply connected the banks in our network to the wallets. And through this integration, we were able to facilitate the movement of money from the bank account into the wallet seamlessly, eliminating the need to walk or look for agents around. And this was 3 years ahead of Safaricom or M-Pesa developing an API that could do this. Quite transformational. Now, that was then. Today we're here. Let's look at this year. And allow me to talk to you about 3 initiatives that we're really excited about that our guys have been working on. EcoBank. 15 engineers from 10 of the markets we operate in went to Accra, Ghana, and developed a mobile banking app for EcoBank that worked across the 33 markets. And what's interesting about this initiative is that typically such a delivery would take anywhere between 6 to 12 months. But these guys did it in 84 days. 84 days. It was unheard of, even at Cellulant. And what's also interesting is that this is not just a mobile app. It's an app that enables both the banked and the unbanked access financial services. I'll leave it to your imagination how the experience was during that period. Talking about the unbanked, and let me talk to you about what we are doing in Nigeria, particularly the northern states. These are such volatile areas that banks have fled, literally. No branches, no nothing. There are bombs flying everywhere. And a team of 10 people from Cellulant, led by 4 women actually, are rolling out what we are calling a neighborhood banking scheme. And what the neighborhood banking scheme is, it just transforms and allows your next door tailor, shopkeeper, even cobbler, to become a neighborhood banker. Allowing consumers to access banking and payment services normally. At Cellulant, we usually like taking big bets on people. And let's take, for instance, Sam and Alex, 2 of our very youngest engineers in the business, in their early 20s. I think one is 20 and the other one is 21. These 2 guys are working on a very amazing stuff. They are testing right now a payment solution for Kenya Airways, which will allow Kenya Airways customers across the continent, actually the world, to book for tickets and pay via mobile money and mobile banking. This is complementing the already existing payment channel, cards. And we all know it makes sense for Africa. And through this initiative, Kenya Airways now has access to over 40 million mobile wallets. Now, our bet in people has paid out big time. And today, I'm happy to share a stage with one of my former interns. And now he's gone ahead and started his own company, Abel Masai. This is the legacy we live for. This is what excites us. This is what makes us wake up every day to go and do what we do. We believe that our mission is to transform the way people access digital services in the largest economies in Africa. And at the core of this mission, it's people. Be it the millions of lives you are impacting, or the guys who are building the network. We work or are driven by the make possible attitude. And the make possible attitude just allows us to push boundaries, go where nobody wants to go, and make sure that payments is not a novelty in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions from the judges?
Thanks, Ken.
Sure.
Quick question. So, I mean, you were talking about Kenya Airways, you were talking about a bank, you were talking about direct-to-market and an agent.
Yes.
Multiple different customers, different needs, right? Fraud, etc., like that.
Yes.
Tell me about how you structure in Cellulant your sales force, and what is your sales cycle, and how do you manage that by industries, or is it segmented by industries? A little bit about that, quite interesting.
All right. So how are we organized internally?
Your sales cycle, effectively.
Our sales cycle. So let me just talk about how we organize. So we have a technology team that builds the product. This is and we look at it two ways. There's one team that does the core products, which is never changes. It's a payment gateway, you know. And then there's another team that does integrations, and integrations is really now laying down the pipes to these merchants, banks, etc., so that they can add value to the product that is at the core. Then we have a team that actually now goes, and it's a business development team that goes working sector by sector to bring the relevant merchants we want into the ecosystem. Yeah.
And so when you say relevant merchants, how do you define that?
So relevant merchants is pretty simple. And we look at it in terms such as you as a person, me as a person, what matters to me? If you look at the basket of the things that I do or spend my money on every month, it's education, it's travel, it's transport, it's airtime, it's pay TV, it's utilities, water, etc. So this business development team will go out and attract those merchants into our network, such that we allow now me as a consumer to be able to do all I want on a one-stop shop.
Thanks for the pitch.
Yeah.
From a growth perspective, what's the growth plan? I mean, it's not coming across quite clearly.
Yeah.
Is it a horizontal growth, meaning different industries or different countries? What's the plan to go forward?
It's pretty much both, where, we consider ourselves a Pan-African business. So today we have physical offices in 12 markets, but we offer services across the 33 markets, where consumers can access a service where we power in one form or the other. So there are other markets we believe we need to be in. For instance, DRC, Congo, Ethiopia, they make sense because of the populations and what have you. Our next form of growth, I would say, is we'll continue laying down the pipes, which is the foundation that enables or brings out our payment ecosystem. And if you look at what we did in Nigeria with the e-wallet program, where we transformed lives of 15 million farmers, some of the things we're doing is now making sure that, or rather helping the farmers use this wallet as a multi-purpose wallet. So initially it was just a wallet they could access their subsidy funds, but now they can use this wallet to do many other things that they matter in their lives, like pay rent, utilities, etc. Yeah.
Okay. And how do you differentiate yourself from the other payment
providers?
Yes.
So we believe that our value is in the network effect. We believe that the person with the largest partners in the network will win. And what is this? It's really, on one side, we have the relevant stores of value, that we are the custodians of money, the relevant mobile wallets, banks, SACCOs, MFIs. And on the other side, the relevant merchants who need to get paid. So we believe that our edge comes into having a large network that it doesn't take actually a day, it takes years to build. And we've been in operations for about 10, going into 15 years. And it makes it really hard for you to come in and replicate what we've done over those many years. And one of the things we usually talk about in the business is when Facebook will come into Africa and will want to collect from Africans, we will be that guy. How? Because practically connected to every store of value, be it a mobile money wallet, be it a bank, be it a SACCO or an MFI.
How do you charge and to whom?
How do we make money? Basically, we charge revenue, per transaction charge. So it's a revenue share model where it ranges from anywhere between 0 point something to 2.5% of the value that has been moved. And the merchant takes up the cost. Yeah.
Is that it? No more questions? Any questions from the floor? Anybody's got questions? Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.